Welcome back, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here on MLB The Show 20. As today we continue along with season number 3, our Pirates have started off this young season pretty good, currently sitting at a record of 12-6, which puts us at second in the division. Obviously, last year it was a tight race, pretty much the whole season between us and Milwaukee. Obviously, Milwaukee ended up winning, and it looks like it's going to be a tough race with us and Milwaukee, but the Chicago Cubs are also in the mix, and to be specific, they actually lead the division, which is a big surprise to me. The Cubs got worse this offseason. Chris Bryant left, he signed with Washington. Javier Baez left, he signed with Minnesota. And I figured that the Cubs would see massive regression, but so far, they've actually played a lot better. Now, obviously, we're only like 18 games into the year. We can't be jumping into any conclusions, but that is a little bit of a surprise. So far, offensively, the team is doing well. Brian Reynolds is putting up Brian Reynolds-like numbers, hitting a casual .328, which is just normal for him at this point. Eduardo Escobar started off kind of slow, at least contact-wise. He's hit for good power. Contact needs to get better, currently only hitting at .224. Josh Bell, kind of a slow start. He obviously hit the Triple Crown last year. He hasn't been bad this season. At this point last year, he was hitting like .220, and he got that up to about .340 at the end of the year. So I'm not worried quite yet. If he takes any jump this year like he did last year, he'll be totally fine. So I'm not too worried about Mr. Bell. Dylan Carlson's had a nice start to the year. I've played very well with Carlson. In the 3 games I've played so far this season, 2 of them were multi-home run games for him. Benny Ling, our rookie first baseman, started the year off really poorly. Like, he was hitting 100 within a week. And now he's gotten that average up to .339 all of a sudden. That was very quick. So shout out to Benny Ling for really playing good baseball the past couple of weeks or two. Really, everybody's doing well except for Bo Bichette. He has not gotten off to a hot start this year, currently hitting .197. 3 extra base hits the entire season, only 12 hits total. His OPS is scraping above 500, and these are not the numbers we want to see. And if guys like Benny Ling and Brian Hayes, platoon players, continue to play as well as they are, then maybe they may get more playing time over a guy like Bo Bichette if he continues to struggle. Francisco Mejia is having another good year. Mark Canha has been solid. O'Neal Cruz has gotten off to a very hot start this year, currently hitting .344, hitting for good contact, hitting for good power. Really like what I'm seeing from O'Neal Cruz, who, of course, is coming off a very solid rookie year where he hit .233 with 20 home runs. He has certainly matched his production and beyond so far this season, but once again, we're only 18 games in. Don't want to jump into conclusions. Brian Hayes, only 12 at-bats, but he's hitting the ball well. Haniger's been solid. Michael Franco hasn't done a whole lot, and then Yandy Diaz is doing his thing. The starting pitching has also been very good. Jameson Taillon's been great. Julio Urias, we picked him up in the offseason. He's been phenomenal. In 4 starts, he's 4-0, 1.35 ERA, 0.94 whip. He has been nothing short of spectacular, and I think the Dodgers are definitely regretting that trade, even though I saw that Kevin Newman was doing pretty well for them. Joe Musgrove, kind of a slow start. Jordan Yamamoto, not bad. Mitch Keller's doing well. Brandon Waddle is doing well. But then we get to the bullpen, and that's where things get ugly. Michael Gibbons is not doing well. Jace Fry's not doing well. Emmanuel Clase is not doing well. Yaxel Rios isn't doing well. Aridas Vizcaíno isn't doing well. Everybody except for Ryan Presley and Ken Giles, both of them have been great, but the bullpen has just let us down too much. So, the clear hole on this team right now, other than bullpen play, is backup catcher. There's no other backup catcher on the Major League roster. I don't really want to call up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. I just don't feel confident in him. So, I wanted to look for the trade market, and I found an interesting name. Willians Astudillo, kind of a meme, but he does the job. He can play every position on the field except for shortstop. 99 vision, he does not strike out. He's well-rounded. He can hit for contact. He can hit for some power. Good defensively. So he really fits everything we want in a backup catcher. Luckily, the Minnesota Twins were willing to deal him to us. I thought we gave up a little bit too much here, but I think it's worth it. So first in the trade is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. We acquired him last year. I think that move was a flop. He didn't really play well last year. Hasn't played too well in the minors. I've seen he doesn't do all that well in MLB The Show Sim. Off's going to be trading a few other not-so-great prospects. Daniel Procopio, a reliever on the single-A team, and then Gene Traxler, a first baseman on the double-A team. So I think it's worth it. We get a major league quality backup catcher, which is what this squad needs, and in a corresponding move to make sure there's only 26 players on the roster, Yaxel Rios was sent down to AAA. So here we go, Game 4 of a 4-game set between the Braves and Pirates. I chose this game specifically because of that pitching matchup right there. Mike Soroka, Julio Urias. Here's a look at both lineups for this one, 1-9. As the Braves currently winning the series 2-1. Pirates going to try to make it level. Braves going to try to win the whole thing. So here's a look at Mike Soroka. He started the year off well. Tall glass of water, by the way. 2-1, 3.29 ERA for Mike. 2-2 count here in the first for Josh Bell. And he's going fishing on the low sinker. Nice strikeout from Soroka. Here's a look at Julio Urias. We know he's been dominant so far. 4-0, 1.35 ERA, 0.94 whip. He has been outstanding. 2-2 count for Dansby Swanson, the former #1 overall draft pick. Going to go down swinging on the fastball. Freddie Freeman now up, lefty on lefty crime. Got him on the outside curveball, and we advance to the second. The rookie, Benny Ling, cranks that ball into right, and that's Benny Bombs with the dinger. His 7th of the season, I believe his 3rd of this series versus Atlanta. And the Pittsburgh Pirates will take a 1-0 lead as we advance to the bottom of the second. 1 out for Jose Ramirez. That's going to be a base hit. Brian Reynolds dove probably about 10 feet behind the ball. I don't know why, and that'll turn a single into a triple. So now Atlanta has a runner 90 feet away from home. Opportunity here to capitalize. Here's the catcher, Shea Langleres. I know I butchered that name. My apologies. He rips a single into right. Run scores, and this game is now tied up at 1 apiece. Here's O'Neal Cruz now up in the 3rd. Currently dominating contact-wise, but Soroka got him there on the sinker. Bottom 3 now for Ronald Acuna Jr. Runner on and 2 outs. That ball is deep into right center at the track at the wall, and it would be caught by Brian Reynolds to end the inning. Urias got awfully lucky there. Now on to the 4th, full count pitch for Josh Bell. That ball goes up the middle just a little for a single, so the Pirates got themselves a runner on. That would bring up Dylan Carlson. 2-2 count for him. He would strike out. So now the Pirates need to drive in a run, and a certain bad man would be up next to the plate. 471 feet. 471. That's some atomic bomb-like stuff. Benny Ling, more like Benny Bombs. He's, as Stephen A. Smith would say, a bad man. And the Pirates will take a 3-1 lead. Benny Ling's 2nd of the day. He got a hanging pitch he liked and absolutely crushed it, adding salt to the wound with the bat flip. Let's look at this with Show Track. Absolutely crushed it. I don't think I've seen a home run longer and a home run derby anytime recently. Holy smokes. Pirates aren't done yet, however. Here's Bo Bichette. Shop and gap into left center field. That's going to be extra bases for Bo. He's going to get a double as the Pirates are not satisfied with this 3-1 lead. Next up is the catcher, Francisco Mejia, 2-1 pitch, and he's shop and gap, this time to right center. Bichette would score easily. Francisco Mejia hustling his tushy around the bases. He fought about 3, but will stay at 2 for a double. As the Pirates take a 4-1 lead on to the bottom of the 4th. Liner from Verdugo, and Benny Ling is there to make the play. What a game he has had so far. Now on to the top of the 5th. 4-1 remains your score. Brian Reynolds goes down on the changeup as Mike Soroka wants to get back into that groove. Next batter, Eduardo Escobar, 1-1 pitch. That ball is hit high and pretty deep out into left center field. The left fielder trying to make a diving play on it. He cannot. Escobar rounding 2, headed to 3rd, and the throw is not in time. That'll be a triple for Eduardo Escobar, his first triple as a Pirate. And now Pittsburgh has a runner 90 feet away from home. That would bring up Josh Bell. Quite the opportunity for him. And he gets a nicely hit ball to 3rd. But Jose Ramirez will save a run with that defensive play ending the frame. As we advance to the bottom of the fifth, Adam Duvall up at the plate, going to strike out on the curveball. Julio Urias is looking dominant at this point. Now here's the pinch hitter, Chris Owings. That ball is crushed into right center. Brian Reynolds cannot make the play, and that'll be a home run for Atlanta. The first home run of the young season for Chris Owings, and now this game is 4-2. Ozzie Albies up. Nice play at third by Eduardo Escobar to get the out as the next batter comes up to the plate. Dansby Swanson, 1-2 pitch, and he's going fishing on the low changeup, ending the inning, and we advance to the sixth. Pitching change for Atlanta. Daniel Castano now in for the Braves in 18 innings. He currently has an ERA of 4, record of 1-0, so pretty much baseline average. His first batter would be Dylan Carlson, who hits that one nicely into right center, goes off the wall. Carlson going to start the inning off with a double. And the Pirates quickly have themselves a runner in scoring position. That's actually Dylan's first double of the season. So that'd bring up Benny Lane. He already has 2 dingers. That was a clear high pitch. I think he was a little bit trigger happy, and he's going to strike out because of it. Now runners on the corners for Francisco Mejia, who strikes out. And Carlson kind of was thinking about running home. Instead, the catcher will pick him off. That'll end the inning. As we go to the bottom of the sixth, there's Freddie Freeman. He's just a window shopper because he's just looking. The 6th strikeout for Urias today. There's the 7th. High changeup for Ronald Acuna. He misses it. Nice out for Urias as we advance to the bottom of the 7th now. Aroldis Vizcaino in for the Pirates. To put things in perspective, he allowed 8 earned runs all of last season. He's already allowed 7 this year. Luckily, the 7th inning would be no problem. There's Duvall grounding out to short. O'Neal Cruz makes the play, and the side is retired as we advance to the 8th. Castano is a lefty, so that means all of these switch hitters the Pirates have to go lefty, and there's like 5 switch hitters in this lineup. That includes Josh Bell, who grounds that one to short. Nice defensive play by Dansby Swanson. Dylan Carlson, another switch hitter, forced to be on the right side. Lines that one into left. The left fielder just drops the ball. I assume that went off, like the ball went off of his wrist or something. That's a double for Carlson, his 2nd of the day, 2nd of the season, to be specific. Another lefty-on-lefty situation here for Benny Lane as he swings at the high cutter deep into center. Would be caught by Ronald Acuna to end the inning as we go to the bottom of the 8th. There is Marcell Ozuna, going to go down looking. Ozzie Albies strikes out swinging. Very successful day here for Vizcaino. Going to finish it off with the outside sinker for Dansby Swanson. And he actually wasn't terrible in this one. On to the 9th, Philip Deal now in for Atlanta. Another lefty, 7.36 ERA. Not great, as here's the switch hitting catcher, Francisco Mejia. Getting that one into left. Another dropped ball by the left fielder. I don't know what kind of defense this is. However, he would pick him off at second. Part-time ball player, full-time sniper, and Mejia is out. Here's O'Neal Cruz now. 2-2 pitch. He's going to look at the inside fastball. That was just a beautiful pitch from Deal. Can't blame Cruz. As we go to the bottom of the 9th, Ken Giles in. 10 save opportunities. He has 10 saves and is not allowed a run yet. But that's going to change as Freddie Freeman goes into straightaway center, 454. And the Braves will cut the lead in half down to 1. This is the spark they might need for a comeback. Ronald Acuna, the next batter, draws a walk, and the tying run is on board with nobody out. Jose Ramirez now draws a walk, and 2 runners are on with no outs. Verdugo next up. He's going to go down on the slider. Big out for Giles and the Pirates. Now runners on the corners. 2 outs for Adam Duvall. He's going to strike out, and the Pirates will escape with a victory by the final score of 4-3. Julio Urias got the win. Mike Soroka with the loss. I think the big storyline of today's game was Benny Lane hitting back-to-back home runs in his first 2 at-bats, including a 471-foot bomb. He was the only one to hit a home run for the Pirates. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, Chris Owings, Freddie Freeman each went yard for them. Jose Ramirez, the only extra base hit, which happened to be a triple. Soroka wasn't great, but bullpen shut the door, but it did not end up mattering. So now the second game of the episode, Pittsburgh returns home, now sitting at a record of 17-10. Going to take on the defending champion Washington Nationals, currently 12-15. Even with the addition of Chris Bryant, it looks like there is a little bit of a World Series hangover to start the season for the Nats, as on the mound in this one for the Pittsburgh Pirates would be Joe Musgrove. We've watched 5 games this year. We've seen all 5 starters, which is pretty cool. Musgrove is currently 2-1, 3.76 ERA. He's never going to put up ridiculous numbers, but he's just a rock in that rotation as a number 3 starter, a guy who you can depend on. Here's Trey Turner, going to lead things off with a single into center. Pretty big game in this one for Turner, and the Nationals got a runner on quickly here as Juan Soto, the superstar outfielder, with a double into left. The speedy Turner decides to hold up at third. Next batter, Chris Bryant, is intentionally walked, and the bases are loaded. This puts a force out at all bases. Daniel Vogelbach will strike out. Nice play from the Pirates, and then Starlin Castro now going to get that one into center for a base hit. Turner will score, Juan Soto will score, and the Nationals will take a 2-0 lead. It looks like the intentional walk of Bryant, I guess, kind of came back to haunt Pittsburgh. The veteran Max Scherzer on the hill, first ballot Hall of Famer without a doubt, but looks like he's starting to regress. Currently 2-2 with a 6.08 ERA. Not an ideal start to the season for Scherzer, as he gets Eduardo Escobar to go down looking on the low fastball. On to the second now. We got a runner stealing. That is Michael Taylor. He's gunned down by Francisco Mejia. Say it with me, kids. Part-time ball player, full-time sniper. Nice tag at second from Eduardo Escobar. Escobar is playing second today because the Pirates sort of mixed up the lineup card. Guys like Yandy Diaz, Brian Hayes got the start. The Nationals would be able to score, however. Nice little single for Juan Soto. Trey Turner would slide home as the Nationals make it 3-0. On to the bottom of the second, Benny LING would strike out. Nice slider from Max Scherzer. Vogelbach now up into third, and he beats the shift perfectly. Weak grounder on any other instance. Instead, it's a base hit for Vogelbach. Most runners would advance to second, but since he's kind of slower, he has to stay at first. There's Starlin Castro going to go down looking, and then the catcher Dominguez would go down swinging. Bottom 3 now, here's Yandy Diaz. Yes, he's getting the start today. Currently hitting .500, but only 14 at-bats. Now he's hitting over .500. Single into center for Yandy Diaz, and the Pirates are going to try to drive him home. They're going to be unable to do that. Brian Reynolds, he's more blind than Helen Keller. I don't know what he was swinging at. And we advance to the fourth. Trey Turner with his third base hit of the day. Currently 3 for 3 with 3 singles. There aren't many more dangerous base runners in baseball than Trey Turner, but the Pirates would turn 2. 5-4-3 double play. Their infield is more chemistry than a science project. Nice play at third by Brian Hayes, who usually doesn't play against righties, but is today with guys like O'Neal Cruz and Bo Bichette getting the day off. Here's Eduardo Escobar now, getting that one in the seats, his 6th home run of the season. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are finally on the board. They will cut the lead down, making it 3-1. On to the 5th now, another double play. Escobar to Diaz to Benny LING, and they will turn 2 as that inning would come to a closure. Bottom 5 now, runner on for Yandy Diaz, swinging too late at the high inside fastball from Scherzer. Here's Brian Hayes now, the full count pitch, going to draw a walk. So now 2 runners on, 1 out for the pinch hitter spot. Pirates are going to put in O'Neal Cruz, who will rip a single into right. Runner thought about going home, but would stay at third. And now the Pittsburgh Pirates have the bases loaded for Brian Reynolds. Quite the opportunity for him to potentially drive in a run. As he gets a hanging pitch, hits that one deep into right, it would be caught. However, if a runner would come home safely to score, that was Francisco Mejia. And the Pirates will make it a 1-run game now with runners on the corners, 2 outs for Eduardo Escobar. 3-1 pitch, he draws a walk. So now the bases are loaded for Josh Bell. That's dangerous. The Nationals are living dangerous right now. Quite the opportunity for the Pirates, and they don't capitalize. Weak fly out from Bell. Doesn't even get out of the infield. Would be caught by the third baseman to end the frame. Washington allows a run, but gets out of the jam. Pitching change for Pittsburgh. Michael Givens into the game. Compared to the rest of the bullpen, he hasn't been atrocious this season, to be fair, as his first batter of the game going to rip a double into right field, so not an ideal start for the former Baltimore Oriole closer, as Washington now has a runner in scoring position for Daniel Dominguez, the catcher. He's going to go down swinging on the low off-speed pitch. Michael Taylor now up. That ball is deep into right. goes over the glove of Josh Bell. He's still not used to being an outfielder. Pirates got to do something about this defense because Benny Ling can't play anywhere else other than thirst. Gonna have to make Ling and Bell coexist. Max Scherzer, however, strikes out. But the weird thing is, when you have runners in scoring position and 1 out, okay, you have Max Scherzer up. Wouldn't he pitch the next inning? No. The Nationals make a pitching change. Then why wouldn't they go with a pinch hitter? I'm so confused by that. As there is Dylan Carlson. He lines out. Felix Hernandez, by the way, and I couldn't even make that clear just because of my confusion. Benny Ling now up at the dish, going oppo-poppo, shopping gap. That'll be an extra base hit for Ling as he will stand up to second for a double. Pittsburgh has a runner in scoring position here for the catcher, Francisco Mejia, who walked and scored in his last at-bat. Weak grounder. Felix Hernandez will make the play, and we got a little bit of a pickle here as Benny Ling wanted to go home. Cannot do that. Now he's stuck. To be fair, that was a pretty long pickle. That's what she said. And the catcher would eventually tag him as Victor Robles would strike out. Pitching change now for the Pirates as Ryan Presley now into the game for Pittsburgh. We are now in the 8th inning. Starling Castro will go down on the slider. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Wander Suero now in for the Nationals. Hasn't been great in 6 appearances. Going to try to improve that today. Here's Brian Reynolds. 1-2 pitch. First batter of the inning. Weak hit into center. And that'll be a base hit for the Washington Nationals as the center fielder cannot make a play. Here's Josh Bell now. Another opportunity for him to shine or strike out on the curveball. Now into the 9th. Washington up by 1. Going to try to get some insurance runs. There's a 2-run shot for Juan Soto. His 9th home run of the season. And the Nats will make it a 5-2 lead. But they're not done cushioning this lead. The very next batter, Chris Bryant. That one will go deep into left field, and the Nationals will now make it 6-2. Bryant's 3rd home run of the season. His Nationals debut month has been kind of slow. We go bottom 9. Benny Ling looking at the outside curveball. That looks like a ball first glance. Nice pitch for Wander Suero. Full count now for Francisco Mejia. He goes down to the outside cutter. Excellent placing once again from Suero. And now the final hope for Pittsburgh is Yandy Diaz. 1-2 pitch, and that one would be weakly hit to short. That play would be made by Trey Turner. The Nationals get the win by a score of 6-2. Pretty good outing from Max Scherzer. Once again, I don't know why they had him hit and then put a relief pitcher in immediately. I understand Max Scherzer is a pretty solid hitting pitcher, but, I mean, they won the game. That's all that matters, right? Pirates just could not get in a groove. Only 5 hits for the team. Nationals, meanwhile, with 16 hits. They were hitting all 3 of the pitchers today. None of the Pirates pitchers really played all that well. So now we simulated up to the end of April, 21-13. We got some guys who were really playing well and some guys who were really not playing well. Currently, the Cubs are a game and a half ahead of us in the division. Brewers back by 4.5 games. So maybe we'll be in a tough race with the Cubs this year. That surprised me. O'Neal Cruz is one of those guys who's been outstanding. He currently is winning the NL batting title. But you also got guys like Emmanuel Clase who have been atrocious. Clase's potential is going down. He's actually regressed a little bit, which should not be happening for a 24-year-old pitcher. So really not happy with how that's been going. Currently, we do have the number 1 wild card spot. That'll end the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Pretty fun month of April. I think the batting lineup is looking pretty good. Bo Bichette's even playing a little bit better. The pitching rotation has been solid, but the bullpen, man, other than Giles and Ryan Presley, the bullpen has just been really bad. So maybe this team needs to get a star reliever down the line, something to consider. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. Deuces.